Alrighty, welcome back. So this is part 2. We are going over some of the jewelry that was a mess, that was totally tangled. And then there were some pieces I had to research. I had to make sure that it was bone and not ivory. And then we have some items here that we are going to be testing for sterling, for jadeite, and for quartz, and maybe silver. So let's get started. We saw these in that last video. Little cute earrings, purple. There's a little bit of wear on the purple earrings. And then there's black. There's a little white one, green one, black ones, another purple, a red, and a blue. So what I'm going to do is just sell these earrings all together. Let's do those for $2. All right. Then we have a pair of cloisonne, adorable floral earrings, very pretty. Get you a measurement on these. They are just under a ½ of an inch. They're lovely. Let's do those for $2. Those are pretty. Then we had this pair of Silvertone dangle earrings. Let me get the Presidium. I believe these are glass. We are going to find out. Yes, it moved up into glass. So for these beautiful earrings, I am going to do, we'll do 2 on those as well. Oh, let me get you a measurement. They measure in at about 1 1/4 inches. So yeah, we'll do those for 2. Those are pretty. So yeah, we did get some interesting pieces for sure in this batch, and everything was so tangled. It was really difficult. All right, this was one of the pair of earrings that we pulled out that I did find the match for, and these are gorgeous. These are that purple that's like a blue purple. Absolutely love it. These are the color Christmas lights that I always try to find and I can never find. Just love these. They are textured, gorgeous. They measure in at 2 inches. Aren't they beautiful? We're going to do those for 2 as well. All right. I think that's it. No, one more pair of earrings. These are Silvertone dangle earrings. They do move. You can see they're articulated. These measure in at a hang of about 2 1/4 inches. We'll do those for 2 as well. Then we got this ring, which is just going right into craft. It's adjustable. You can see it craft, all of the brass is showing through there. So that's going into a craft lot, not for sale. And then we got, I think these are the only other 2 rings. These are gorgeous. Look at this. This is glass. Beautiful. Red and blue. They are adjustable. No maker's mark. Let me get you a measurement as it says. It's adorable. It's tiny. It's about a 5. It could go up a little bit more. But isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love that piece. Let's do her for 5. Then we have this gorgeous glass one. It's also adjustable. It's set at a 5. Isn't that beautiful? It is like an ice blue, the color of a glacier. When we see those fantastic pictures of that, just amazing blue. And then it has beautiful design. And I think there's a little dirt on there. I'm not positive. Let's see if we can get that to rub off. It may come off. It is gorgeous. Absolutely nice. Let's do that one for 5 as well. Okay, so that was it for rings. Then we got a brass tone, Alex and Annie. Everything happens for a reason. It's not in great condition, but I will sell this for $2 if anyone's interested in a craft item for that. And then we have this bracelet. It is a teal blue with a silver tone. There's no maker's mark on it. It's pretty. It's in pretty good condition. And it would go from a 7 to about an 8¼ inches. That is a really nice piece. Let's do 5 on her. All right. Then we have this, which is leather with rhinestones in it. It's broken. It was originally, I guess, $5.25. So this was a necklace choker that is broken. So what I'm going to do is put this into a rhinestone lot. All right. Then we have this vintage necklace. All right. Let me show it to you right there. It's a box with a faux pearl in it. Beautiful. I believe this is late 70s. Here is, oh, sorry, late 80s. The hang tag. Beautiful. And if it's not late 80s, then it could be a remake, more current. So let's just say it's fashion, and we will get a measurement on her. She is lovely no matter what her age is. She is a 15-inch wearable length. I love that piece. Let's do that for 5. All right. Then we have a gold tone. Oh, no, that's in bad condition. So that's not even for sale. We're going to put that into crafts repurposed. All right. And I believe same with this one. If anyone is interested in this one, it is $1. The little squares are fine. It is 2-tone. This is a darker tone. No maker's mark, or is there? There is. Okay, it's LC. So we'll just put that into craft for $1. All right. Then we got a great Kate Spade necklace. All right. Here it is. Here's the hang tag. Really pretty with the spade. Excellent, excellent condition on this. This has a drop of 7 inches, but it does have an extender of 2 inches. So that is lovely. Let's do the Kate Spade for 10. That is pretty. Okay, then we have this. Gorgeous. I absolutely love this. This reminds me of boho. All right, let me show this piece to you here if I can get these these tassels out. Beautiful chain tassels. We're gonna leave that out. These were really tangled as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's beautiful gold tone with turquoise colors. This is what the chain looks like. The chain does have a little bit of wear here. No maker's mark. Let me get you a measurement on her. This one I really like. It just screams spring to me. It is a 14.5-inch wearable length. That is just lovely. Let's do her for 5. Did you notice all my jewelry is a her? Every once in a while I find a piece that is male, but to me, it's a her. All right, then we have this great vintage piece. Look at this chain. It is textured with a medium yellow color enamel. They are linked together. It's pretty. This has an 8-inch wearable length with a 3-inch extender. That is a fun piece. Let's do her for 5. All right. Then we have this. I absolutely love this. And I believe these are glass, or they're very hard plastic. It's kind of hard to tell on this. So I am going to bring Pressy out, and we're going to try and see if these register as glass. Okay, it's not registering on that one. Let's try the blue. Okay, the blue one is up in glass. And I'm going to try one of these green beads. These, I believe, are plastic. Yeah, these are plastic. So it is mixed materials. It is glass and plastic. Beautiful seafoam green dangle. The dangle is, the tassel is about 4 1/4. Beautiful rhinestones. There are none missing. Here are the beads. It is gorgeous on a nice gold tone. Chain up here. It does have an extender. This, as it sits, measures in at 15 inches with a 3-inch extender. This piece is lovely. Let's do her for 8. Okay. This piece I just love. This reminds me of Vintage Reimagined. I believe there is something missing from here. I don't know that for sure. It is in a brass tone. It does have a hang mark, a hang tag. And the hang tag says, oh, let's flip it over. Let me get my thing out here. Okay, it says ornamental things. So I believe that this is just a vintage style. It is a great piece. This would be perfect to recraft and put anything you want on here. So she is lovely. Let's measure her chain. It's 14 1/4 inch. I love this piece. So I stopped to look it up. It looks like this was is a vintage inspired piece, and it is lovely. I would wear it as it is. I don't know if there is anything missing. I couldn't find anything like it, but boy, is that a great piece. Let's do her for 8. All right, then we have a fun piece. This is from 9 West, and it's called Vintage America. So that is really beautiful. It's a necklace, and it does have 3 bracelets that will go with it, but I'm going to sell them separate because I know sometimes people like to break up the sets. So we've got this gorgeous necklace, gold tone disc. They're flat with faux turquoise looking stones. As it sits right now, it measures it in an 8 wearable, but there is an extender of 2 inches. That is a lovely necklace. Let's do her for 8. And then I've got the 3 bracelets. And as you see, it has the same decoration as on the other one. These are stretch. So for these 3, I would do 5. All right. Then we have this fun. This piece is layered. All right. Let's see if I can lay it out here. There are 3 strands on this one. This is what the main stone looks like. These are black, probably plastic rhinestones hanging down. This is on the longest layer. Then that second layer has a whole bunch of kites, as I would call them. And then the shortest layer has a larger kite on it. So let me get you a measurement to the shortest from where it sits right now. It is, let's see if we can separate this. All right. So as it sits, it's at 11 with another 1.5 inches on that. So that's a fun piece. Let's do her for 5. All right. And then we have this toned 3-tone. There's black, copper, and brass tone necklace. This does have a hang tag. Daisy Fuentes. It does not look like it's in good condition up here. It has been worn, but it is very pretty. It's a unique coloration, and that's what I like about it. It measures in at an 8-inch wearable. So for the Daisy Fuentes, let's do 2. And we got a fun paparazzi earring and necklace set. And these are chains coming down. And it's on a long Silvertone chain with these faceted blue stones. And they feel like they are a hard plastic. They do not feel like glass. Very pretty station style necklace. Very long. It measures in at 21 inches long. So for this set, let's do 5. Then we have one more paparazzi. This one is fun. I love this. Look at this with the green and the gunmetal and the cherry red or deeper red. Excuse me. And it's on a nice chain, rhinestones in between, and it even throws in some blue and some purple and that green with another green. This is a fun necklace. Great any time of the year. The shortest length is a 9-inch wearable. It does have an extender. And let's get a measurement on these earrings. These are so fun. I love it. That's what I really like about getting these different 5-pound mixed jewelry lots. You never know what you're going to get. And sometimes there are just fantastic pieces. So for this set, let's do 5 as well. Then we have this plastic faceted Silvertone necklace. It looks like turquoise, but it is faux. It is plastic. This has a drop of 8 inches with an extender of 2.5. She's pretty. Let's do her for 2. All right. Then we have this multi-chain necklace. This is AEO, American Eagle, I believe, Outfitters. Yes. And it is pretty dirty. The chain could use a good cleaning. It's consistently dark like this, with bonus hair. And it has faux pearls. It's still wearable. And it's not shiny like a lot of the jewelry that we see, but I have noticed that trend in the last few years where they are making more muted Silvertone, antiqued Silvertone jewelry. And I love it. So this measures in at 15.5-inch wearable with a 2-inch. So just know that this is not shiny. It's supposed to look dirty. And it's a great piece. Let's do her for 2. Then we've got a J. Crew. I love this with the faux tortoise shell. Beautiful clear rhinestones. They are all there. This is what the back looks like. There is some wear on the chain, but there is always wear on these chains. This is an antique. You can see a little bit of loss here, tonal loss, but it is still a fantastic piece. So let's see. Did I give you a measurement? I don't think I did. All right. Let's measure her. Fully extended, it is a 10-inch wearable. Let's do her for 5. Then we have this, which I am putting into craft. It is a beautiful heart with faux rhinestone or faux pearls. That's what the back looks like. You can see the copper coming through. The chain is two-tone, and I believe that it's not supposed to be that way. So you can see down here it's more brass tone, and it goes more into a silver tone. It could have been made this way, but to me, I am not going to sell it as anything but craft. It measures in at 2¼ by 2 inches. So that is still a lovely piece. Let's do her for 2 in craft. All right. Then we've got these pieces. Now, I had to do some research because I needed to know if this was celluloid, bone, or ivory, because ivory you cannot resell, which is fine. I have no problem with that. So it is illegal to sell it. So I wanted to do my due diligence and really research these. And the reason I know it's bone is when I pull back here, let me see if I can pull that up. I can see the like pock marks on it, so I know it is bone. It is heavy duty. It has the striations. It is gorgeous. It's got a screw back here, and there you can tell as well that it's bone due to the striation. This is a fantastic piece. Let's see if I can get it to go in without stripping it. All right. So she doesn't close all the way, but she is heavy and gorgeous. So for this bone, I will do 12. It is gorgeous. All right, and this also is bone. It is dyed red and black and more of a beige. There is a little tiny piece missing right here where it chipped off. But what I did was also take my magnifying glass and pull back here, and I can see the striations and the pock marks in those to know that they are bone and they are beaded. This is just a beautiful piece. It has browns, reds, and creams. Beautiful. Let me get you a measurement. Measures in at 9 inches. She is lovely. I will do her for 12 as well. All right. So this piece at first I thought was celluloid. It is not. And the reason I can tell it is when I flip over and I do take a magnifying glass. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that at all. I can see the pock marks, as I call it, and the striations. This is gorgeous. This looks like a butterfly here, and it's on a floral design. It is beaded, and it has the hang tag, and I can't remember if this one also said sterling. Okay, it says 925 on the clasp, so I'm going to test the clasp here, and I do have pressing because I wanted to test these to see if these are quartz or glass. So she is still on. So while we have her, let's check this peach colored stone. All right. Oh, well, it's in the like tourmaline area. It went above glass. So it is some sort of natural stone. It could be a quartz. Let me check the white. Okay, you know what? I believe these are quartz. All I know is they are semi-precious. And let's check this to make sure it is 925. Okay, we have a beautiful blue right there. So we know that that is sterling silver. It is bone, and it has some sort of natural gemstone on it. Let me get you a measurement. She is beautiful. She has an 8.5 inch wearable length. She's lovely. I will do this one for 20. She is gorgeous. All right. Oops, I did find another necklace. This one we might as well test since we have it out. This does not look like silver. It looks like it's just a Silvertone. And this has really pretty, those look like, they are so sparkly. They look like crystals. Let's test it for glass and see. Okay. It did go to glass. So these are glass rhinestones. This is dainty and gorgeous. No maker's mark. This one measures in at 8 inches. That's what the back looks like. This is just a lovely piece. Let's do that one for 5. Okay, and then our last pieces that we needed to test. Let me pour them out. Since we have Pressy out, to me this looks like jadeite or jade. So I wanted to test her. Let me get this untangled. All right, let's try it. So I'm holding on to the bottom. Pushing here. Oh, look at that. It went right up into jadeite. Wow. That is a beautiful piece in a triangle. It is not marked there or there. Let me see. Sometimes you will find on the spring ring a marking. So let's see. I don't see anything on that side. It kind of looks like it is a rolled gold, but I am not positive. Okay, it is not marked. That is a beautiful piece. Let me get you a measurement on her. Jadeite. 10-inch wearable with a 2-inch extender. She is lovely. Let's do her for 8. All right. This one I want to test next. So let's see if we can get her untangled. We can do that while we're testing. This is pretty. It's a multi-strand necklace. All right. So we are going to test the pink stone. So most people would think it's pink quartz. I am thinking it's a jadeite, but we will find out. So I'm going to test it. Look at that. Whoop. Flip back up. Let me get it back up there. Look at that. Jadeite. It's right in the center of jadeite, but was also above quartz. So let me push that. All right. So to be on the safe side, I'm just going to call it a quartz. Okay, now we're going to check this one. I always bear with the lower of the two. I believe it's jadeite, but because it was not definitive enough, I will just sell it as quartz. Okay, and then here is the white stone. There we go. Yep, it is jadeite. So let's just call this a mixed stone necklace. I'm going to next check for any markings. I do not see any. If I can get this untangled for you. Okay, I almost have it untangled. This can just drive you absolutely batty sometimes. All right, did we get it? Yay, we got it. Okay, so I'm going to lay it out here. And the pink stone is up here, and down here is the other one. There is no maker's mark. There is an extender of about 3 inches. So I'm going to pull this down here, and we are going to get the shortest wearable length. Okay, there we go. So the shortest wearable is 9 inches, but there is that extender. This is a fantastic piece. Let's do this one for 8. Okay, then we have, this kind of looks like gold filled as well. So I'm going to check here for any markings. And then I'm going to check here as well. Yep, there is some writing. It says 1/20 14 karat gold filled. Okay, so we know it's a gold filled necklace. We're going to test this. It should be quartz. Okay, went into quartz. Beautiful little bar. It is a dainty necklace. This measures in at a 9-inch wearable. That's lovely. Let's do her for 8 as well. All right, a couple more pieces here. And this was that ring that we pulled out. There is a missing stone. These are so tiny, but we're going to try to test them anyway. So you may be hearing some beeping because it's going to hit the metal, and it will beep when it hits the metal. So I'm going to try to get one of these stones. Okay, it's in glass. It is a ring, and it is marked 925 up here. So we are going to give her a test and see if she is 925. Just because it's marked does not mean it is. The scratch looks okay. What I mean by that is that it is scratching a silver tone, not brassy, not gold tone. All right. And she is shining blue. So this is definitely a sterling silver ring. Beautiful blue. Okay. Mark that and get that off of there. She is a little bent out of shape, but she's beautiful. I could put her in my scrap lot, but if anyone is interested in this as a scrap piece, it's about a 6 3/4. Very dainty. So if no one's interested in it, I'll put it into my scrap sterling lot. Otherwise, I can do $5 on it as a scrap sterling. Okay. Then we had some Alex and Annie's, and we did test it, and it wasn't magnetic. Sometimes these are sterling silver. So we're going to do the scratch test first. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to scratch the bracelet here. That is looking pretty well. So let's give it a test and see if this is an unmarked sterling. It could be plated. Look at that. It is sterling. See? And I can't find a marking anywhere. Look at that. That is a bright blue. So this is a sterling silver Alex and Ani piece. And I don't see any marking on it. So that's fantastic. So it's not in the best condition because it needs to be cleaned, but it is sterling silver and the marks are staying there. So for the Leo, he would need to be shined up, and I'll let you guys do that yourself. I could do 12 on him. All right. Let's scratch that up. Shake, shake, shake. All right, so now I have a feeling that this one is sterling as well. I'm going to let that dry off. We're going to test on here. Well, I'm not so sure of. It seems to have a little bit more of a coloration on it. So we are going to, yeah, see, this isn't as silver. So this may not be. That's why you can never tell. You need to test. Okay, we're putting it on there. Oh, look at that. Bright blue. That one is sterling silver as well. Wow. So I will do that one for 12 as well. All right. Get that off. All right. Then we have another Alex and Annie. This one I'm not so sure of. Let's give her a scratch anyways. This one does not look like it's sterling, but you never know. Okay, there is that first scratch. Now we're going to scratch on the bracelet. All right. Let's give it a second here. Put on the 18 karat. It's blue. All right, we have another sterling silver Alex and Ani piece. How wonderful is that? And here I don't see any markings on this either that indicates that it's sterling silver. Beautiful. Hope you guys can't hear that dog barking in the background. We have a neighbor that just likes to leave their dog out. All right, so if anyone's interested in that piece, I'll do that for 12 as well. Beautiful. Okay. Then we have a piece here that we're going to test. This looks like Druzy quartz, and it's on a brass. It does say 925 there, but it looks like brass. See, can you see that yellow on my fingers? Ugh. We are going to give her a scratch. It says 925, and I need to give it a really tough scratch, because it could be under a coating. All right, look at what it did to my table, that yellow acid. Isn't that amazing? All right, so we are going to put on our 18 karat gold testing. And it is blue, so it is sterling silver with a brass tone finish over it. You can see here that there's some sterling. Let's test it and see if it is coming up as quartz. Not really. I'm going to just sell this as glass. I don't want to take that chance that I am wrong. When in doubt, I always go down. So on this piece, let's do 5. All right. Other one is dry. We had a couple more in question here. Now this says ORELIA. And it sort of looks like it's sterling. So I figured we'd test it. It says New York. I don't see any marking that says it's sterling. So we're going to go ahead and scratch this. And I can tell right now it is not. It has brass undertone. It's still a very pretty necklace. So we need to do no further testing on that. It is an 8-inch wearable. That's really pretty. Let's do her for 2. Okay, and then we had this ring that's misshapen. It could be a silver wire. So we might as well test since we have everything out. And again, it is not. You can see that that is a brassy color. And what I'm going to do is I will put that into craft for $1. Now this is marked sterling silver. And this was the piece we got yesterday that says something. Let me pull it back out. It says, life's truest happiness is found in friendships we make along the way. And it is marked 925 up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch it next to these other two so you can see what I mean when I said that it looks different colored. All right, can you see the difference there? This looks like silver, whereas these look like more of a rose gold color. So we are going to test it, make sure it is sterling silver. It is marked. And it is a bright blue. Beautiful, bright blue on that. And this looks like a sodalite or an amethyst. Let's test it since we have Pressy out. Oh, slippery little sucker. All right, it's almost up into the amethyst, but it is not. And sodalite would not test on here, but I like to test anyway. So this is a semi-precious stone. It is on a brown leather cord. And this is what the front looks like. That is just beautiful. And it says love. So let me get you a measurement on this. Let's get rid of this so we don't get it all over the rest of my fingers. See? There we go. All right, let's get a measurement on this. So it is 14-inch wearable. That is gorgeous. And I bet this could be wrapped around a wrist twice. So it could be a choker or it could be a bracelet. That's lovely. And I love that sterling silver piece in this semi-precious stone. So let's do 12 on that one. So not too bad, you guys. We got bone. We got sterling silver. We got some beautiful items that, you know, were just surprising. I love that paparazzi. I love the coloration on that. So this was a good lot. At first, I was not too thrilled with it. But as we've gone through, we see that you can't always judge a book by its cover, right? Because we saw that we got some bone and some sterling and just some fantastic pieces. So thanks so much for being here. I will see you on the next video upcoming. You guys have a great one. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free. And my prices are for subscribers. So please leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite items are. And I will see you real soon. Be well, guys. Bye.